And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Something to Talk About. This is Big John Blackledge coming to you live from the free state of Jones. I'm joined now by my co-host, Billy Ray. And I tell you what, remembering this weekend, a lot of Easter egg hunts. I'm going to be on the lookout for that Easter bunny. I might set a trap for him. I don't know. I know Billy Ray's got plans too for him, but we'll see what happens. Remember our great sponsors, Central Sunbelt Federal Credit Union, Flicka's Tax Service, Hattiesburg Tattoo, and also Cotton Blues has some of the best cheesecakes. You can find them at the Corner Market locations in Laurel and Ellisville. Also, you can find them at Ramey's in Collins and Waynesboro, and I think in Jasper County. So, thank you guys for that. And Billy Ray, it's been a crazy week in local sports, and over the weekend, it's been crazy, and the start of baseball all in one. What do you say to that? I mean, is it a good weekend or what?
Yeah, it's a pretty good weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of things have been happening this week.
They have. And so let's get right into it. Talking about, let's go ahead. We had this kind of a discussion with some people on Facebook about women's sports. And I know for the average Joe, women's sports doesn't matter. And sometimes it doesn't really matter until your team reaches the Final Four or even the national championship, and that's okay. But there's still an importance to it, and I think you got to give credit to the two that are in the national championship, Mississippi State and Notre Dame. A lot of experts thought, Billy Ray, that UConn would just go through the competition, but at the same time, UConn doesn't play that stiff competition every day that Notre Dame and Mississippi State has had to play. So, what's your thoughts there? And just, let us know what you have to say.
Well, first off, I want to say you are correct. Women's sports, to me, it really doesn't matter until my particular team is in the championship. Yes, I will get on Facebook and say howdy tidy, but I also will say it's women's sports, and woohoo, big deal. But anyway, congratulations to Mississippi State. They won. I was hoping they'd get put out last round, but they didn't. They made it on through. And I did not watch any of the Final Four games. I was not aware that UConn had got beat until this morning. I looked up on Twitter and saw Notre Dame had won. So, with me being a good Catholic boy, I'm gonna root for Notre Dame tomorrow, being Easter Sunday. So,
yeah,
go Fighting Irish.
Yeah, you got to do that. Being a Catholic, and I'll have to go with my Mississippi State Bulldogs. So, but I will.
Yeah, congratulations on.
Yeah,
don't mean to step over you. Congratulations to Mississippi State once again. They earned it. Be proud for them. But let's see what they do tomorrow. That's a good opportunity for them to win the national championship with UConn being out. So, if they're going to win the national championship, tomorrow's going to be the day. So, good luck to y'all.
Well, thank you, sir. And looking at it, both of the teams, Notre Dame's got a good team. Notre Dame's got a very good team. And one thing about it, they beat, UConn with 4 starters being out with MCL. That's impressive.
Yeah, sounds pretty impressive.
And of course, you got the 6'7" center in Tierra McGowan for the Lady Bulldogs, who's a visible force down there in the post for these teams, and so she's a force to be reckoned with too. But it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top, and I think you're right. I think Mississippi State is better matched up with Notre Dame. But, that's neither here nor there. They all have to play. So we'll find out the winner on ESPN Sunday night. So going to be interesting. So after all the Easter egg hunting, going to church, mass, tune in and settle in for a great basketball game that evening. Now, Billy Ray, we have to talk about this. We have to talk about the Final Four that's going to be played today in men's basketball. You have Loyola Chicago taking on Memphis. Then you have not Memphis, but
Michigan.
Michigan. Good grief, not Calipari in Memphis or Kentucky, but Michigan. Loyola Chicago.
Calipari's in Kentucky. Come on now, don't be like Jabba now.
Oh, I'm not.
Get it right.
But you know what I'm giving.
We ain't those guys in Hasbro. We get stuff correct.
That's right. So you are correct. But excuse my last sentiment. But Loyola Chicago versus Michigan and Kansas and Villanova. Billy Ray, what do you see happening there? I mean, that's a good little Final Four there. And who would have thought that another Catholic school would have got it in Loyola Chicago?
Yeah, good little run by little Loyola Chicago, little Catholic school in Chicago, Illinois. Of course, they haven't been there to the Final Four since 1963. They shoot a lot of three-pointers, but going up against Big Ten Michigan, I think their run ends at that tonight. I don't think they'll be able to hit that many three-pointers. I think they're going to go cold behind the three-point line, and I think Michigan pulls it out. I know I should be rooting for Loyola Chicago. That was a little boy in the big man's game, trying to win it for the small school. And being a Catholic school, I should root for them. But Loyola Chicago was the team that Mississippi State played in 1963 when Mississippi State snuck out of here in the middle of the night back in the 60s when were segregation, and Mississippi State was not supposed to be allowed to play since was state law or whatever, but they played anyway. So Mississippi State has connections to that. But I'm going to root for Michigan this afternoon because I don't think Loyola Chicago can hit three-pointers. And in the second game, I like Kansas to win that one with the Mississippi State transfer. Of course, Mississippi State's got ties in that game, too, with Malik Newman, the transfer from Mississippi State, who came from Jackson Callaway. So I'm going to root for Kansas tonight to win it, and I think Kansas wins it all on Monday night.
Okay, well, that's a respectable pick, but I'm going to tell you something. I think it's going to be a battle of the Catholic schools Monday night for the championship. I'm going the opposite. I'm going with Loyola Chicago and Villanova to win. I think
that will be a very interesting matchup.
I think with it being Easter weekend, Sister Jean up there supporting the Loyola team, I think that's a lot of momentum there. Maybe not, but we could see. And then, Villanova, they've been there in the past, and they can really play some basketball. And so I look for them to come up and dominate Kansas. I don't think Kansas has played a defensive team, as in Villanova, because they're pretty good as well. And so I think that is going to be a great game, and hopefully we'll see those two schools in there. And then, if that was to happen, Billy Ray, who would you go with? If it were a battle of the Catholic schools, who would you go with on Monday?
All right, so you're saying if Loyola Chicago and Villanova wins, who would I go with? I would have to go with, I guess, I would take Loyola Chicago.
All right, you gonna go with the underdog, huh?
Yes, but it's not going to happen. It's going to be Michigan and Kansas. Kansas comes from the Big 12. I think the Big 12 may be the toughest basketball league this season with West Virginia, TCU, and all other great schools in the Big 12. I think they're battle-tested, so I think Kansas will win the national championship against Michigan Monday.
I don't think so. If it were me, I'd go with the Big Ten and Michigan. I think Michigan plays, more of a, I guess you could say, a systematic kind of basketball, Billy Ray, where they come up with plays. They're able to do that. Meanwhile, I think Bill Self and the Kansas Jayhawks just, it's more like street ball, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean, but I really do think Kansas will win it, and I think Malik Newman will be the game MVP, and he'll declare himself for the NBA draft next, was that June or July when they have the NBA draft?
Oh, well, Izzy will. That'll be great for him, but he'll probably flop. But I've seen him play too much to know how he is. But you know,
I detect a little bit of hesitation you taking Kansas because you were kind of maybe rooting against Malik Newman since he transferred out of Mississippi State.
Well, I mean, just the way he handled himself. You know, I think he's a prick. You know, I don't. You know, I don't like him. I'll be honest with you. I don't like Malik Newman. I think that he knew
having transferred from Mississippi State has no bearing on this, right?
I mean, no. I mean, when he was at Mississippi State, he tried to take every shot. You know, and he knew that he had guys, if not better, than him coming up. And you know, even though the Bulldogs only went to the NIT, you know, he thought he had to be right in the NBA right now. And, you know, his dad, Horace Webster, I think is his name. I'm not sure what his name is. Played at Mississippi State. You know, I heard he was just like his son, you know, an even bigger prick. And just, you know, has a bad attitude. And so I just, you know, the heck with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it is what it is. So we're going to take a break and come back after these words from our sponsors. And thank you guys for listening to us this Easter Saturday morning. And we'll be back.
At Central Sunbelt, you can bank on your own time with 24-hour ATM deposits. Deposit cash at any Central Sunbelt branch ATM, any time of day, any day of the week, and receive quick access to your funds within the hour. Check deposits are processed hourly during our extended member service hours. Try today by selecting Mixed Media Deposit at your local Central Sunbelt ATM. Some limitations apply. For more information, visit sunbeltfcu.org.
Flicka's Tax Service in Taylorsville offers free 1040 EZs and free estimates. With over 50 years combined tax experience, this team is up to date on current tax changes and specializes in preparing all federal and state returns, including corporations. They can prepare W-2s and 1099s, as well as assist in obtaining EINs for new businesses. Stop by Flicka's Tax Service on Highway 28 in Taylorsville for fast, friendly service at a great price. Or call 601-785-6900.
Hattiesburg Tattoo opened in September 2015 by Brian Jordan and Stony Boy. Their motto is doing badass tattoos for the hard-working people of Hattiesburg. They currently have some of the best tattoo artists in the Pine Belt area, including Brian Jordan, owner, artist, Stony Boy, owner, artist, Tay Cole, artist, Hunter Applewhite, artist, Kim MacArthur, artist. Brian holds best of the Pine Belt for 2015 and 2016. We're the home of Halloween's free tattoo day.
With Big John, Henry, and Billy Ray, you know you're getting your penny's worth of information compared to those local radio guys who still play with Star Wars tools. You're listening to Something to Talk About.
And welcome back, everybody. This is Big John and Billy Ray coming to you from the free state of Jones.